All right, we are back again.
Episode 4.
Episode 4. Yes, it is. It feels like every time when we do this gets better. Not the fact that what we're doing is better. We just feel comfortable. Yes. So thanks for coming back. If you are, maybe you listen to a couple of our podcasts, or maybe this is the first time, right, listening to our podcast. What do? We basically tell a lot of information, really good information about college applications, anything to do with college preparations, or
And
anything.
it's always a pleasure.
Yes. Thanks, Jay. So Jay is probably our sort of like half permanent guest. He has a lot of knowledge that he can also share. So I would, love to have him here almost every episode. And yeah.
I hope that anything I can say will be of some use to
Oh,
students who are
100%.
preparing for college admissions right now.
Jay is currently enrolled at UCLA, studying creative writing.
Yes, sir.
Yes, so he is a definite help for some people who are trying to get into, any UC or maybe anything related to writing, literature, etc.
I'm not just bound to UCs in terms of who I want to help with.
Oh yeah, of course. He applied to a lot of schools too. He's now as a consultant, also trying to help a lot of students to get into good schools.
And
So
yeah, on that note,
yeah,
what are we talking about today?
so we are talking about the most sort of important, yet it could be quite grueling at the same time. Very,
Yes.
very grueling process. Yet it's so important that people cannot just underestimate or take it for granted. Something that you just have to do it for a long time, and that is,
The personal statement.
yes, that's the personal statement. So basically, what is the personal statement?
It's an essay that you submit a part of your application process, and it's supposed to tell the admission officers who you are, and basically an appeal letter of some sort of why you should earn that spot for that college that you're applying to.
Yes. So it's like a sell yourself, right, to the institution that you're trying to get into, and sometimes it could hurt you.
If it's just very directly, hey,
Yes.
I did this.
Exactly. If you don't really understand what personal statement is, and if you think that it's just like a repetition of what you did, or it's just like a journal, right? Oh, I'm just writing a diary, quick sort of summary of who I am, then I think you're totally wrong on that note.
That was my big problem when I was writing my personal statement.
Okay.
I didn't even know how to approach it. I didn't believe, and not even a matter of whether I believed in it or not, but I didn't even know to what extent personal statement impacted your college admission.
Is there something that you read or someone that you listened to that really diminished the magnitude of this aspect?
Well, I had a life-saving, and I don't use that term lightly, but I had a life-saving mentor who instructed me on the importance.
All right, so before you didn't really think it was important, but you slowly understood the importance of this personal statement.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How long did it take you to write one?
Oh, it took me forever.
Forever.
Months, probably.
When did you start it?
Technically, it was around July.
July. So it's like now.
Yes, right now.
Oh.
Of when I was becoming a rising senior in high school.
Okay.
And I think that is normally when most of the kids start looking into it and writing it. But I wish I would have started earlier because I spent about 2 months. I didn't write a thing for 2 months. I spent 2 months really trying to figure out who I am. And I fell into this deep inner self-reflection period, which was not expected at all.
That is something that I always find common amongst some students I teach. Not all, but some people who actually take it seriously later on. They actually try to, isolate themselves from something, like anything. So like they would probably just get into a cubicle or or like be alone, right? In an absolute solitude, and try to think about what's important for them. Try to think about all the things. But it's still hard, right?
It's a very hard question.
Yeah, I remember Jay telling me that he basically did nothing, but just thought about what to write, and he did that for several hours, but still couldn't come up with an answer.
I thought if I committed a full day into really thinking about who I am, I would at least have something on my paper. But that didn't work out.
So none of them were satisfying, or just nothing popped up?
I think for the most part, nothing popped up. And when a little idea or like a quality about myself would intrigue me enough to maybe suggest writing about it, it would also disappear with like certain doubts, or another thought pops up and I just completely forget the other one.
So we just kind of went over like the overview of what the personal statement is and the importance. I think it's now it's a timing, a good timing for us to ask ourselves why universities ask students to write one.
Right.
I mean, it's a 650 words essay, so it's a good idea to write close to 650, right, instead of like much less. And a lot of students already, I think they already know, some, like most already know, because their counselors, their school leaders, whoever, their graduate, alumni, right? They always tell the importance, like they always kind of amplify the importance of this, right? And they're like, oh, start early, right? So they would definitely, most understand the importance, but it's just that it's one thing to know, which is, okay, I understand why this is important, but there's another thing, which is, why is this important? Like, I understand it's important because it's my story, got it. But why are university really trying to figure this out? Like, why are they trying to read? There's so many things to read on your application. There's so many things, right? But why would they bother reading 650 words essay?
It's to differentiate between students, like their uniqueness.
Okay.
I think it's a chance for you to express something about yourself that it's not. It can't possibly be written down in the background or scores.
But is 650 enough? If that's the case, you have such a great story to tell, and it's something that happened since I don't know, when you're elementary, and it was a ongoing thing, right? I don't know, like, let's say you fought through cancer, right? Maybe there's a lot of things that people can talk about. So is 650 words fair?
I think I would say it's fair. For it to be eye-catching, and then if they show interest in you, they'll offer you an interview, or allow you to submit additional
Yes.
writing if you want to elaborate on it.
Exactly. So there's guys, there's a thing called there's another section called additional essay
Mm-hmm.
where most people don't use that section unless something dramatic happened in your life,
Yeah.
like you, I don't know, you got kicked out of school, or you dropped out of school for a year, or you just decided to not go, or you went to a different school and therefore, that's why your grades do not correspond to your age,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's all that kind of things that are extraordinary.
Yes.
But I don't think that's that's one thing to use. That's one thing to write about. But there are other things you can write about too. So there's a lot of things you can write about. So technically, you have more than 1,200 words. Because they're if you write additional essay, they are gonna read the additional essay. So it's not like the reason why I asked was because it's not really 650 words. If you have more, you can definitely write something.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't repeat yourself, I guess. So, all right. So I think that question is answered. The question about why college asks students to write one is because obviously you guys know that college application, if you are already done with it, or you're right now doing it, or if you heard about it, you have to, there's sections by sections, right? But it's not that enough. Like, it's not enough to talk about really about who you are. Like, for example, like things like, all right, sure, maybe you didn't do a lot during your high school year. Maybe you just came home and just listened to podcasts like this, or like watch YouTube videos. But that could really help you. Like that really helped you and shaped you to become a film director. You love watching Casey Neistat, I don't know, and that kind of led you to read more about something, right? But these are not recorded. Like these aren't. You can't really write that in your activity sections because it's not really like there's no it's not really, I don't know, like how do you say it, it's not really authorized, right? It's not really sponsored or supervised, right? So there's a lot of things that are important to ourselves, our relationship and the things that we do, things we watch, all these things kind of it can take a big role, and I think that's probably one of the reasons why this personal statement is one of the most important aspect when it comes to holistic admission. So yeah, do take that section seriously, and try to figure yourself out, right? Figure yourself out, meaning stop reading the books or stop reading the other essays that people wrote and got in, because their essay will never apply to you. Their life will never apply to you. So, yeah, start early, which is very cliche to say, but it's a very true thing too.
And I just think beyond college admissions, it's just a very good thing to do on your own as you grow up into an adult.
It's definitely a self-reflection, sort of like, and understand who you are, and some people actually grow up, like they actually become a little more mature during the personal statement.
It should be a very humbling experience.
All right, so what kind of essay question you will see? Well, this for me is this is not a really big issue, or like this really doesn't. I don't really care about the questions, to be honest.
Not even all. There are 7, right?
Right.
In common application.
Yes.
But none of them.
Like the first one is the background,
right?
Identity, and there's a challenge. There's all the very obvious 6 questions, and then the last one is a topic of your choice, right?
Yes.
Right. If you're hesitant or you don't know what to write about, and the first thing you probably look at is the questions and see if there's anything you can answer.
Right.
But to be honest, guys, I don't think that's for me. I don't think that's the right approach. It's like watching a basketball game before you play. I'm not not sure if that's a good analogy, but for me, I would just write what I want to say first, and then see. It's like saying, like look at yourself. Like, what do you like about? I know. Okay, I'm not saying don't watch the game. You might watch the game and start that sort of interest, or like it sparked your interest to become a basketball star. But all I'm saying is, you need to figure out your own style first. You need to figure out what kind of thing you like.
That definitely works better for some people.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Like you might. I don't know. Maybe you just feel like the first question just like stuck in your head. Oh, challenge, right? And then you might only just think about the challenge question. Or sorry, the first question is your background and identity, right?
Yes.
So you might just think about the background and identity, and you're like, oh, right, that's the first. Yeah, like for example, for me, as an immigrant, I went to Canada and faced identity crisis. I didn't know, what to say about myself, because when I had a chance to introduce myself, I sometimes say I'm Korean. I sometimes say I'm Canadian, right? And I didn't know back then, but one day it hit me like a truck. I don't know, like what I don't know who I was. I didn't know who I was. And then one person who I met said, "It's okay. Just say you are totally Korean, totally Canadian."
Just both, like
yeah,
that?
both. I thought I had to choose one.
Okay, I see.
Right. So like for me, growing up as an immigrant, I thought I wanted to become Canadian.
Just fully Canadian.
Yeah, like I thought I was fully Canadian, but the things that I was doing was a little bit Korean.
Right, and
like right. I'll buy that food. Right.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, like it's all me, man. Like, no, don't worry about it. Like, because I saw my mom and dad, they were growing up and they were paying for food. Right. They're like, oh, that's us. That's what we do, right? Koreans love to treat each other, right? Especially to a boy, goes on a date with a girl, like that's on them, right? Most of the times. So like, the things really shaped me. I was embedded in both culture, and for me, if I was to write an essay, the first question, if I see it, I'm probably gonna write that one. I'm like, oh right, identity. Yes, I faced the identity crisis. Yes, I'm pretty sure that's a really good the essay for me. And then I would kind of like just skim through the other 6 questions, be like, no, the first question is always the best question. Right? So for me, it's bad for me to think about the question first, because personal statement at the end of the day is about what is most important for you. What do you really want to tell us about? And you can write anything about it. So if you think that there's something missing in your application, if you think that there's something that you really want to write about, and then none of them really fits well in the for the first 6 questions, then just put in number 7, a topic of your choice.
See, I think a lot of students are starting to think like that as well. Because according to College Common App, during the 2018 to 2019 application year, the most popular topic was share an essay on any topic of your choice.
Oh yeah.
And that was 24.1% of the students.
Okay, that's a lot.
And so that's top 1. And the top 3, so top 2 and top 3 are discuss an accomplishment, event, or realization that sparked a period of personal growth.
Okay.
And that's 23.7%. And that's followed closely
Very
by...
close.
Yes, the challenge question.
Oh,
That
okay.
is 21.1%.
I get that. I understand why people choose accomplishment and challenge, because it does feel you bigger. It does make you bigger. Right? Like,
Yeah.
if they talk about that struggle,
Mm-hmm.
if they talk about the adversity that I faced, it might be a true adversity, right?
Oh, yeah.
But like,
We're not
God,
saying like
yeah.
we kind of think they exaggerated it. Or
Oh yeah,
anything.
yeah. But like, guys, think about this though. Like, you might feel like the adversity that you go through is the biggest adversity ever, but like, people receive, like, the mission officers receive essays from all over the world, right? And there's a lot of things happening all over the world. Like, I don't know. Just think about that kid who got in from Africa. He didn't even have. He basically. There weren't even a library in his city, in his location or whatever.
Something I can go to by just walking 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's something that we can just. What do you mean library? We don't need library. We have phone.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, like 0.1 in 0.1 second, we'll find that information.
No,
But he had to climb up the mountain
that's crazy to think about.
to get that information. So, guys, and then like he would never. But like he's like, oh, it's okay. Like that's not adversity for me. like, guys. So like, just make sure that you don't come out too aggressive or too immature, I guess. All right, so what kind of essay questions you will see, I don't think that's a really good question for me. I would just first try to read my book. What book am I? Or instead of reading others, right? Instead of reading the questions, think about who you are first.
Oh, your inner book.
My inner book, yeah.
Okay.
Try to read the book that you have, right?
I think that's a phrase that you enjoy a lot.
I enjoy that a lot because I don't. Whenever I see someone tell me that what I'm doing is wrong, and they give me a solution, I'm like, well, that doesn't fit me,
Right.
because I have a certain characteristics that I perform at a highest level. That I like I'm a little bit alpha. I'm a little bit vocal. If I lose that two main characteristics of mine, I will lose the fun in this game. So what's the point of changing who I am and losing the fun of it? And what then what's what point of continuing this process?
There's none.
Yeah. So I don't really care, and neither should you, about others' opinion, because they're just an opinion, right? One person might say you're great, another person might say you suck. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
But then, okay, so then what sets great essays apart?
So, and let's end with this, okay?
Oh, okay.
Let's end with what makes a stellar essay. For me, what makes a stellar essay? You know how like when I read anything about the stellar essay, how do you write an essay, and I Google it, or like I just YouTube it.
Just
There's
tips.
so many things, so many tips about like, okay, anecdote, don't tell, but show. There's a lot of things, right, guys? They're so true. I can't deny anything they say, but I don't think that's the primary, source. They're the secondary. They're the tertiary. Like that's something that you just go and get help.
Okay.
Right? You can ask your tutor to change your piece into an anecdote. Right? That's something that you can definitely just go and get help, or like just Google up what anecdote is and change the angle of your essay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not, for me, that's not the most important thing. What do you think? Before I render my opinion, I might change yours.
The most important.
I know I'm putting him on the spot, and he is like, "What? I've never really thought about it since it's been like a couple years."
I think for me, I would stick with the show don't tell tip.
Oh, show, don't tell.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of saying, I helped her cross the road,
Mm-hmm.
and it shows how compassionate you are, or something like that.
Right.
Instead of that, just show, like you hold her arm, and like just show how you cross the road.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and don't say I'm compassionate. Just say within that scene.
Don't
just
make it obvious.
Okay.
What you're
So
trying
for
to do.
you, okay.
I think that's what I would say. That's why I was a bit surprised to hear that you have prepared a different side to that take.
Okay. Are you saying this because you want me to give a better point?
I don't know. I'm just
Because I just said that was a secondary.
I'm just genuinely curious.
Okay, genuinely curious. Okay. So, for me, I think I was able to come up with or help students to write a really good essay that I'm very proud of, too. Even now, I'm still proud of like the essay that I helped 4 years ago, right? It's because I think I really do stand by this opinion of foundation. And first, another one is cliche.
Cliche.
Yes. So, guys, can I tell you something? For those who are listening, I hope you are a student who are writing or preparing. Guys, you have to be cliche.
Oh.
It's the opposite sort of, it's the opposite of the idea that people feel.
Right.
Right.
Everyone
People say
says-
don't write anything cliche. I say write a cliche essay, not a corny essay, cliche essay. So let me explain. Let me elaborate, and then we can kind of end.
Mm-hmm.
I always give this analogy, and I think this helps. If you want to be a millionaire, billionaire, if you want to change the world, like Elon Musk, love him. Sorry, I respect him. You can't, I'm pausing because I want people to be like, what is he gonna say? So, if you really want to become a millionaire or all these kind of big dreamers, right? Which definitely the prestigious top tier schools are looking for, like they're looking for students to change the world, right? The next Elon Musk. You guys heard that, right? I mean, that's so obvious. Why wouldn't Harvard want another Mark Zuckerberg? Like, why? They would.
Yeah, of course.
100%, 1000%. And if you can, and if you say that you are the next Elon Musk, you are the next Mark Zuckerberg, you have to dream big. Would you so my analogy is this: if you want to become a millionaire or billionaire, and you say that your dream is to have a house, a nice, little house, and with a family, obviously. If that's you, compared to someone else who says, both of you have nothing, okay? This student A says, yeah, my dream is to just have a house and have a family, a nice family, 2 dogs, and just enjoy. Compared to someone who says, I want to buy a building and then a stadium and then a jet and then hopefully an island. You both don't have anything now. You're both broke. You're both just a student. I know that the second person sounds so cliche.
But
But I would bet on him
mm,
if I need to pick a millionaire.
okay, I see what you mean now.
Yeah. So, guys, most of the schools not who, but most of the schools are in the top 20. Most of them are private schools, guys. And private schools earn money through alumni, like donations from their graduate. And obviously, they have billions of endowment because they receive so much fundings, donations from the successful alumni. So you have to dream big. You have to be cliche. Or else, why should they pick you? So yeah, for me, don't worry too much if you want to say, I want to become a president. Like, you shouldn't feel embarrassed about that.
No.
But like right now you got nothing. You're like, you know, you're just nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And people laugh at you whenever you talk about that. But you guys have to understand that that's who they want. They want the next president, right? So dream big. Never, for me, the way for me for me, like the way you should sell yourself is, you are a big dreamer, right? But, the big dreamers who are actually successful have a plan, right? So make sure you tell in the supplemental essay what you're gonna do in order for you to achieve or to become a president. What are you gonna do? So the next thing after that, the first thing is be cliche. Write one that looks pretty. Wow! This person just said he wants to buy a jet. He says he wants to be the majority shareholder of the Golden State Warriors. Okay.
That's a dream I wouldn't.
Me too. Oh, well, because you're LA. Okay. Well, the next core question is, okay, you kind of did you did sell yourself. Nice. Your next big problem then is, okay, what are you gonna do? So first, write a really big cliche essay, and then the next, tell us about your plan, which is in your supplemental essay, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so for me, that is my way of helping or supporting, mentoring kids to write a great personal statement. If you want to get into Harvard, you definitely have to dream big. You definitely have to come up with a cliche essay. Even if it's not cliche, like, I want to have a nice family, that's still cliche. Right? Who doesn't? I want to be a nice dad. Who doesn't? Right? But, there's different types of cliche. So anyways, I hope that helped, Jay. We did talk about it. We did rant on and just continuously talk. But I think it's because personal statements for us is something that we are pretty good at. And I think there's so much to talk about.
I hope, if it's not eye-opening for some kids, at least it helped them look more into it.
Yes.
In the least.
Guys, just don't listen to our sayings, our wisdom, our notes, but go on and just search other people's, opinions too. It's okay. And whatever you feel it's comfortable, go and do that. There's no right or wrong answer, right? If you're good, you're going to get in.
All right.
So write a good personal statement, guys.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.